This study takes away 90% of the work of stock trading. It literally tells you the best place to buy and the best place to sell. And the best part is that it is fully customizable to better align with your trading style. So in today's video, we will cover the buy and sell conditions of this study. We will build a scanner so that you can find stocks aligning with these conditions. And if you stick around to the end, we're even going to build and backtest a trading strategy with hundreds of trade examples to prove to you the viability of this study. This is an extremely simple indicator. There are only two price action based rules. The first, which is probably pretty obvious now as I've zoomed out on this chart, is that the stock must be above a simple moving average. By default, I have this simple moving average length set to the average closing price over the last 200 bars. So basically, as long as the stock is above this, that proves the stock is some sort of macro strong. I'm willing to take chances and buy and sell macro strong stocks. But when it's trading down below this level, if the stock like already sucks on a more large macro scale, I'm not going to try to long it, right? I'm not going to take the extra risk of trying to find bullish profit on crappy stocks. This becomes even more apparent when I come out to a ticker like XYZ. Yes, trade all of this, make a bunch of money when the stock is very strong. And then when the stock sucks, don't try to long it. There's no need to try to long the stock in this area. But remember, as I said, these studies are completely customizable. So if I wanted to come in and try a different length, and this is going to depend once again on both your trading style and the types of stocks you would like to trade, I could change this simple moving average length. Let's say instead of 200, I want to try 50. I could simply change it to that. I'd have to change it on both my buy and my sell. I haven't mentioned that yet, but the buy and sell are both separate studies. That way, if you only want to look at one, you only have to turn one on. Like if you only want the sell side help, you can only turn that one on. But if I go in and change the moving average length to 50 on both of them, you'll notice that my moving average is now based off of the average closing price over the last 50 bars, and my arrows from the study adjust accordingly. Now let's talk about condition number 2. You probably noticed in both the buy and sell study that there is a second input parameter for low length, and then obviously one for high length. Once again, by default, and these can easily be changed and adjusted so that you can test what works best for your specific trading style, but by default, these are both set to 15. What this means is that the arrows in the study and the code are looking 15 bars back. And if the current candle is below the lowest low value out of those previous 15 bars, and obviously above this simple moving average length, that is when you get your buy arrow condition. When you are above the highest high value out of those previous 15 bars, that is when you get your sell condition. So taking a look sort of at the move here, obviously when this stock breaks down below any of the previous 15 bars before it, you're going to get your sell condition. When it breaks up above the highest high out of any of the previous 15 bars before it, you're going to get your sell condition. So the way that I have it set up by default is as a reversal trading strategy. I want to buy dips on macro strong stocks, and I want to get out of them on the first sign of strength. I am targeting a high win rate rather than a high win to loss ratio. And we will of course test this in our back test later in this video. I've got a surprise for you. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to give you these two studies for completely free. I just want to let you know before we hop into building the scanner that if you are interested in this sort of custom ThinkorSwim codes, I have published over 150 of them over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. You're watching at the perfect time if you're not already one of the 3,500 plus members that have signed up right now. The Black Friday sale is active, the largest sale of the year. You can take 70% off of the annual plan. There's even a handful of free codes on the website, as well as a quick 1-minute video tutorial showcasing to you exactly how it all works. It's extremely simple. If you can copy and paste, you can import 150 codes into your ThinkorSwim. Anyway, go check out daytradingstrategies.net. There will be a link in the description down below this video. Now let's focus on building the scanner, because it doesn't matter how good your trading strategy is if you can't find the stocks that align with the current buy condition. So first off, go ahead and get your stock filter set up with whatever types of stocks you like to trade. I've just gone ahead and set my mark to a minimum of 25 cents, keep a lot of the super penny stocks off my list, and the current volume on the day must be greater than 1 million shares. I don't want to trade any low liquidity stuff. Set those stock filters up to really whatever you like that aligns with your trading style. Next, we're going to come back into the add filter here in the top right. This time, instead of type stock, we're going to add a filter of type study. Then into the pencil icon on this filter and into the ThinkScript editor, we're going to have to write a little bit of simple code. So remember the two conditions from our study: the current price, or the close as represented in ThinkorSwim, must be greater than the simple moving average study, with the length parameter set equal to whatever you find works best for you in your testing of this study, right? For me, I'm going to use my default length of 200, and the current price must be less than the lowest low value out of the last X number of candles. Once again, whatever you find works best for you in the testing of the study. My default length is 15, and we need to offset that comparison by 1 bar because, of course, the current candle's price can never be lower than its own low. So here is the study filter. I'll tell you a secret quickly. Remember, stick around to the end of this video. You're going to get these study codes for completely free. Once you have those codes, all you need to do is go into the source code and copy this code, a line, and paste it into the study filter here on the scanner. So you don't actually have to type this in. You don't have to worry about it too much. You'll be able to simply copy and paste as long as you stick around to the end of this video and grab those source codes. Anyway, now when I run this scan, I should only see stocks returned in my results that are currently showing a buy condition according to the study that we're talking about today. There are currently only 2 stocks appearing in our scan results, which is perfectly fine. The top stock is Burlington. Let's go over and look at the daily chart on BURL. We can indeed see that, well, it looks like this stock just got a gap down, possibly on earnings or something today. But hey, it is trading back up and above its 200 length simple moving average. And obviously it is currently trading below the lowest low value out of the previous 15 candles. We can see that both of those things are true because the current candle is in fact getting that buy arrow. So it looks like the scanner is working as intended. Now let me show you something cool. This isn't reserved for only swing trading, only looking at the daily chart. Here on this study filter that we built in the scanner, you will have this drop down box available here from which you can select any time frame in ThinkorSwim. So if I wanted to look at potential day trading opportunities, I could come down to the 5-minute chart here and run the scanner now. Now I should be seeing stocks with the buy condition true on the 5-minute chart. In fact, the top stock is Apple. So if we go load in the Apple chart, and instead of the daily, we load in the 5-minute, we can indeed see this stock is obviously above its 5-minute 200 SMA and trading below the lowest low value out of the previous 15 candles. So we are getting a buy condition from this study on the 5-minute chart. The study will load automatically on anything you can chart and across any time frame, and then you can adjust your scanner to run across any time frame as well. So now the most exciting part, probably the part you've been waiting for, the trade strategy. I've gone ahead and coded a strategy that buys and sells perfectly in line with our indicators, and there is also a stop built in. If we close below the moving average, we go ahead and get stopped out for a loss as well. And we can go ahead and take a closer look. Actually, one of the lines we drew earlier on the sort of simulated trades is still there. And we can see, obviously, our strategy is now buying and selling perfectly alongside of that once we get our buy arrow and once we get our sell arrow. And once again, this is just according to my default setup with the 200 length simple moving average and the 15 length on both the buy and the sell look back. So this could end up being completely different for you. You could very easily find a better way to set this up. And in fact, I guarantee you will find a better way to set this up according to your own trading style. That is why I make all of my codes as easily customizable as possible from up front, because I know every single one of you watching this video has a slightly different trading style. You are all going to find different values that work the best for you. And as you can see from my custom backtest labels up here in the top left, this is also a code that is available on daytradingstrategies.net. It's probably my most popular one. It's certainly one of the more useful ones because it provides you immediate feedback of the strategy's performance. But as we can see here, I sort of forecasted at the beginning of this video that this was going to be a high win rate, low win to loss ratio strategy. That's not even necessarily how it worked out. I mean, it's 66% win rate and $600 average winner, $650 average loser. It's pretty close to 1-to-1 reward to risk and at a 66% win rate. So it's probably like a 13-14% edge over the market, considering that if this was exactly 1-to-1, 50% would be break even. So it's still a good, I mean, look, obviously it's still a profitable strategy. I especially love this max drawdown number here only being 17%. That means our peak P&L from peak to trough over time is only a 17% drawdown. That's pretty good, especially considering we're looking at the SPY chart here. I mean, heck, just in 2020 with COVID, there was a 35% drop. In 2022, there was a 27% drop. Obviously you can go back to 2008 when SPY lost like 40% or whatever it was back here, 56% actually in 2008, 2009. So a strategy like this actually does a pretty good job of like protecting your capital. And that all comes from the only buy and get stopped out below the 200 length simple moving average. Let's go look at another ticker. This is XYZ. We actually brought this up in an example earlier. I love this ticker because it gives you a little bit of everything. Huge move up and huge move down. As we can see here, 72% win rate. Once again, pretty close to a 1-to-1 risk reward, and the max drawdown even lower on only 14%. This is far, I mean, I wouldn't like sit here and look at these numbers and call this some amazing godlike strategy, but for a simple strategy to prove that a simple study works pretty well, I think it looks good. I will paste the share codes to the buy and sell study in the description below this video. Remember, if you have any questions on how that works over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net, on the free codes, there is a quick 1-minute video tutorial. So you can go check that out. No strings attached if you have any questions about how it works. Also, this is like my actual strategy built around this that is much more optimized. This strategy is obviously available on daytradingstrategies.net alongside over 150 plus other codes. If you're interested in reversal trading strategies like this, I also have another video on a fully published reversal trading strategy available right here. So click on that and check that out next.